So here we go. Let's talk about the problems as they occurred. In the 1900s, we were consuming about 5 pounds of sugar per individual per year. Now, as we introduce the sugar, which is really neat because it gives you energy, triggers the dopamine aspect of your body, so you feel better while you get sick and while you get fat. What a way to go. But it does affect the overall feeling of your body. It just does it for a short time. So now you see people walking around with some kind of a soda pop, some kind of an energy drink in their hands at all times. Well, as the sugar consumption increased, our calcium and our magnesium and our irons and the minerals in our soil, they depleted. As that took place, our cancer and our heart attacks, those things, they continue to grow almost at the same speed that the consumption of sugar does. So here we are, some years later, we're consuming about 150 pounds of refined sugar per year per individual. That's just an enormous amount. And just a little figure here. Your 1 liter of blood will carry 1 gram of sugar. The average person carries around 5 to 7 liters of blood. So that means in the blood, to maintain that healthy blood content, you can't have more than 7 grams of sugar flowing at any one time. Well, you take an energy drink, take a look at the consumption even of yogurt, you'll see upwards to 40 grams of sugar. Where does that stuff go? And then you add a little bit of protein and you get this marvelous thing called amyloid beta plaque, which begins to cloud the whole of the body, creates plaque in the brain, in the arteries, in tissue. You become stiffer. Nothing works good, but you're emotionally satisfied and your stomach is consumed. So the weight gain and the toxins comes with a diet that's depicted to your right there. Highly processed foods, all kinds of sugared products, canned foods, things that have no food value to them. If it weren't for the sugar and the salt, you wouldn't eat them. As opposed to a diet that I'm showing you that's incredibly loaded with fats, vitamins, and minerals. I've taken them from seeds that are all organic. If you put that into your body, it's so good for you. And the energy level is so high. It's not something that's a spike. It's just you go longer. Your body's ability to process trash, including toxins, is a pervasive factor in the ability to lose weight. So we've gained all this stuff, and the fat is carrying the toxins, so you need to have a liver that is healthy, and depicted below is a healthy liver, plus one that the vast majority of Americans are carrying and working. How can something like that be the fat burn of the body? It's all clogged up with fats, it's clogged up with toxins, it can't function. But you know the remarkable thing about it is it's a very sturdy organ. And in fact, what will take place, this will function up to where it's about 80% non-functioning before you see the quirks. Would it not make sense to clean that first? So we've simply put together a product line, in one product line, that is a precursor to building ATP, coenzyme Q10, red beets producing nitric oxide, and cleaning the liver. If you clean the liver, you are so much healthier. So let's begin right here. After years of carbs, proteins, and sugars, creating all of this inflammation, where we just house disease and fatigue, it would make sense for the first time to take care of that. And all we need to do is know how it functions. So if we begin to clean it up, repair the tissue, renourish the tissue, rebuild all of these things, and function within a respect of the human body. If we get it to looking good, feeling good, you will take better care of it, because that's just the nature of man. If there's a broken window, someone will break another window until the whole building is broken up. Your body functions in the same way until you decide to take care of it, before you become disciplined. And here's a kicker. This thing called discipline is a byproduct of information. When you see the end result of taking care of yourself, being proud of what you've been able to achieve, the better you feel, the more productive you are. All of these things are a byproduct of taking care of your body. And here we sit. Liver's looking good, the skin, you see in my picture that skin is beginning to look just terrible, old. You see old folks. I got myself to that position. But you see, cleaning the body of the toxins and healing from the inside out is so important for you to understand. Simply put, if you get oxygen and nutrients to the cell, it will rebuild itself. So you see your skin getting healthier. And you start taking all of the things out, the liver and the pancreas that you're admiring there, chock full of rocks and debris that's been filtered out of your system. Perhaps they could even be from the rocks that you want to call vitamins. Somehow they're taking them out of the blood. Kind of an interesting thing. So now we want to work with that and clean the brain. Here your brain takes 20% of the energy of the body. And if we begin to understand how important it is for your brain to be functioning, it would make sense to take really good care of it and get as much oxygen and blood and nutrients to that brain as you possibly could. The other side of this, people walking around with a pot belly. I mean, how pretty is that? And they don't even understand what's causing it. We're here to explain that if you eat correctly and if you take Nefesh energy, Be Pro, we can create all of the biochemical and biophysical attributes in your body that will begin to turn that fat back into energy, and you can look in the mirror and say, I really like this. The stress that's going on in your life, the emotional stress, the physical stress, working in today's climate, has got to give you a purpose to do this thing correctly.